just use this as like a ASMR or something. Let's do ASMR streams. Mabong, Samhain, Yul, Imbolc, Imbolc, Ostara, Beltane, Litha, Lamas. I'm sure this is a calendar. An 8-month calendar. Go figure. I mean, if you don't already have a calendar, if you just all of a sudden you find yourself in the middle of, well, anywhere. When I was on deployment, we had a calendar and people would like start marking off days or counting days. It wasn't that long. We had like 180 days. Other people had longer. And so and they said, don't count the days or go crazy. It's like counting days of until you can like leave or not be there. If you just one day you're like, oh my goodness. I mean, if every day is the same, if it's like if the weather is always the same, if every day is the same, you don't have no place to be or schedule. What's the point? Like, what do they call it? Is it a compass? Protractor. I forget the names of these things. Anyway, 180 degrees of a circle. 360 divided by 8. 6 times 6 is 60 degrees. 6 would be. That's what we're doing. Okay, let me do 180 divided by 4. We're going 18 times 45 degrees. Look at this thing. What's happened this week? I don't know. I went to court this morning, so I'm all dressed up. We have a murder trial, a homicide, and I showed up and oh my goodness, so me keeping schedules just aren't. The schedules aren't doing too well these days. This is another little thing. I haven't done too many arts and crafts. My free hand is kind of not the best. This is a compass or a protractor? Forget. I think this is a compass, not the kind that we made, not the kind like magnetic one for for navigation. I guess this is, huh? You said classes and these things, but what I don't do anything with this anymore. There's an exercise I learned a long time ago, and I haven't been keeping up with it. but it's like it's kind of a processing of the day. I used to, for brief periods when I was trying to maintain this practice, when I lay down, I'd say that the exercise that I learned this from challenged me to start with the end of my day and work backwards to see how much of the day I could actually remember before falling asleep. So if I was to do it from here, do it over, so I just hooked up a little extra router. Lunch, before that I had lunch. Before that I had my walk backwards. I came from a gas station where I got a Bang energy drink. The gas from the gas station I had come from a coffee shop, and I almost just wanted to sleep in a chair. I was at this nice little coffee shop and has couches and big comfortable chairs. And when I moved in here, I had a U-Haul, and I was bringing stuff from storage that I've had for 2011. I had a storage. I closed up my apartment when I left my city to go work, and I had planned on being back in like a year and get a new apartment, start over. I left for a high paying job just to save up some like investment money, just to give a cushion. Because I'll tell you, when it's a constant battle, a lot of people pay rent next month or 2 weeks. I mean, those things happen. It's a constant grind. I don't know if the duck call is probably not broken. It's probably that these guys have developed a lot of well, I used to have a deep sea diving type of thing. I didn't deep sea dive, but people like train with these things. A guy told me about it that I was roommates with for a brief period in a transient situation. We talk about health because a lot of guys I work with are concerned about health in their middle ages and how just guys try and get that second chance, that third chance at life. What was I watching today? I watched a lot of things. Could have been, I think they were talking about OnlyFans, a Majority Report with Sam Cedar and Emma, whatever her last name is. Not right. Is it Emma Riley? Riley Shy? Anyway. No, Emma Volkenslagen, Viking, Volkens. Anyway, a lot of stuff about OnlyFans. I'm like, oh yeah, they're playing some scenes from whatever. And I'm so tired because whatever is when they have been having marathon episodes and like 2 a.m. in the morning, I'm still watching this stuff. Like the roundtable discussion of like what women want. That's whatever. You get these, it's like a group I invite in, they come to some whatever show, and it's just, I don't know, we're under obligation that we have to believe you. That's the thing. Watching the show is like, oh, sex work. Tell us how exciting sex work is. Don't you love sex work? Here you are promoting your sex work because you love it so much. And boy, oh boy, I guess you tell a young man like, yeah, man, what you're gonna do for work, your job's gonna be after a certain thing, we need like career counselors. So what are you gonna be? Would you like to be a gigolo? I'm like, what's a gigolo? Like, well, gigolo is just, women pay you to come over and have sex with them. I mean, well, Tim Ferriss has a thing called the 4 hour work week. And I don't know what your stamina is, but let's say an hour of your time. Do you know? Do you know there were used to be able to watch a show on it, and the escort service in Las Vegas. There were women who would just fly out, $500 ticket, fly out, and make like $5,000 on the weekend and fly back home. $5,000 for a weekend work. And can you live off of that for a month? Making money was that easy. Would you do it every weekend? $20,000 a month. There are people out there, they're like running back and forth, like restaurant jobs and everything. Not even making $700 a month. Well, anyway, I'm pie in the sky. Pie in the sky. Apple. So the weekends, let's see, today, oh yeah, the homicide court case that I went to sit in on got delayed to next month. So I went and got recorder office to look at deeds. And, well, it's interesting ownership because people sign property to take out loans, and many loans are backed by property. It's like, well, the grant deed. Can you understand grant deed? The document transfer taxes, recording requested by when recorded. Is this the one? This is transferring. Wait, no, no. This is like when this is when it transfers to a couple. So the couple's smart because the couple takes this property and then they roll it into a trust. And they created a trust and put the property in trust. And I have several things here showing who the creditors are. I think it starts with Bank of America. Where is it? Well, evictions. People are talking so much about stuff that doesn't. It's like abortion and then Israel, war in Israel, Gaza, and war in Ukraine. There is no national discussion over evictions. Then again, that's a state issue, isn't it? There's no federal eviction. I don't know if student loans are backed by their parents' houses or not. Well, I know a lot of parents co-sign. See, when you do loan forgiveness, you're actually also forgiving the loans on the parents who, well, they do a lot to give their kids advantages that poor kids just don't have. C.J. Careers. This is a book on. This is a criminal justice stage introductory textbook for the 21st century. No, I did not want to be working in the course. You know how boring it is. However, I read Cormac McCarthy. I think it's Child of God. I think that's what they call it. And the guy's like so much of a certain mid 20th century. Kevin speaking. Hello, hello. Oh, man, hung up. So I don't know. One something very influential on me was Dharma Bones. I think it was Kurt Vonnegut. Could have been Jack Kerouac. Probably Jack Kerouac. These two names are they're more. They used to be more famous. There was a slew of famous authors. I think the more that television has expanded, so much more options for entertainment, so much more of everything. So there used to be these. I don't know how much they made out. Dharma Bums is about the guys writing entire thing is just traveling around, not working, maybe some odd jobs, but the whole thing is just traveling around and drinking. And so this other this court people, he's not that big. Like he's I don't know if he's rebellious. He's just kind of experiencing life. And then in the course of experience, you want to root for these characters, like he's gonna find love and stuff. And there's a point where he almost does, and the flash flood comes and washes away this family. He's like, I think that was like the end of near the end of the book. And I don't know if there's a resolution to it, but so this he's like he's like clam farming or this family's down by a river, and this is before all the technology we have with cell phones. So they're well, anyway, flash flood comes, washes the family away. They get drowned in mud. The guy sees, and you just say he's like back to square one. He thought he had a home with these people, and all of a sudden they get washed away, and he's just back to square one. What's important is early in the book, his dad was telling him because his dad's a judge or lawyer, and he's like, life is found in the courts. You are life. There's no life out there. Life is found in the courts. So I'm just looking at this. Well, the more you work in the courts and understand what the laws are, the less apt you are to violate those laws. And, well, the court people, it's a calling, it's a duty. Right now, we have so many conflicted court employees. What do you do when your own family comes? What do you do when your family member is being prosecuted? The Federal Bureau of Investigation, Kevin Kendrick, position, section chief, executive development and selection programs, administrative services division, City of Washington, D.C. Lieutenant, is this a real person? Wayne State University, year hired, 1901. Seeing the good work that officers were doing when I was in school at Wayne State opened my eyes to the possibility of a career in law enforcement. I saw this as a wonderful opportunity to do something positive. Every day at the FBI is different. I can honestly say this is the greatest part of the job. The variety of assignments, the interaction with other agencies in the community. It's an incredible way to get things done. We do something that means something. We are having an impact on people's lives. I don't know how people feel about law enforcement these days. And yet, despite it all, they still keep calling 911. No matter how much they spit and insult uniformed officers, have campaigns against them, demonize. At the end of the day, they still call 911. Typical positions: special agent, crime laboratory technician, ballistics technician, computer operator, fingerprint specialist, explosive examiner, document expert, and other non-agent technical positions. FBI activities include investigations to organized crime, white-collar crime, public corruption, financial crime, fraud against the government, bribery, copyright matters, civil rights violations, bank robbery, extortion, kidnapping, air piracy, terrorism, foreign counterintelligence, interstate criminal activity, fugitive and drug trafficking matters, and other violations of federal statutes. The FBI also works with other federal, state, and law enforcement agencies in investigating matters of joint interest and in training law enforcement officers from around the world. Employment requirements. General employment requirements include one, an age between 23 and 37. I've aged out of applying to the FBI. Two, excellent physical health. Three, uncorrected vision of not less than 2200, correctable of 2020 in one eye, at least 2040 in the other eye. Good hearing. U.S. citizenship. U.S. citizenship. What year is this? A valid driver's license, successful completion of a comprehensive background investigation, a law degree or bachelor's degree from an accredited college university. So a law degree, how is how is a bachelor's degree from accredited college or university equivalent to a law degree? It'd be interesting to see what constitutes a law degree. I thought law degrees happened after a bachelor's. Successful initial written examination. And written examination. That means you write. Intensive formal interview and urinalysis. That's why I'm not applying to jobs. All these jobs have urinalysis, and I have no intention of not smoking the. And this is probably part of the problem. The federal, where I live, is like many states, have decided to just go smoke pot. The amount of local law enforcement trying to like find people who have that very aromatic like, "Ooh, I smell in that backyard." It's like, oh my goodness, that gets people in so much trouble because community has voted through their action and through the ballots. Nowadays, people are very upset because no matter how much we vote to make it legal, the FBI. Oh, oh man, if you didn't know about when the first dispensaries opened in California, there was all the federal government, because they want, I don't know, Kevin, because Kevin knows what disaster drugs have done to his community. Maybe he's one of the progressives. I don't know. I don't even know if he's a real person. They put real people in here because these are who you're going to be working with. Other offices with enforcement personnel. Tennessee Valley Authority. What? Table 5-2. Table 5-2. American Policing, Federal Law Enforcement Agencies. Now, I've heard this before. There was like a thing about the government purchasing a lot of bullets. The homeowner, the NRA members and Gun Owners Association, and people who aren't a member of it, but just like us, one of the things, about 10 years ago, they're talking about how expensive bullets were getting, especially under the Obama thing. They remember Obama was going to take away everybody's guns. People were running out to buy guns before Obama could take them away. Well, they started, well, now I get it. Now I get it because people who are buying guns for their own personal homes are usually very anti government. Like they want their guns to protect them from paranoid. Think the FBI is gonna come break in your house and get your guns and tax you. So anyway, American Police, federal. These are the federal law enforcement agencies. Department of Agriculture, U.S. Forest Service. Where all these people have law enforcement, the law enforcement tools. The U.S. Forest Service, Department of Commerce, Bureau of Export Enforcement, National Marine Fisheries Administration. So I didn't even know there was a Bureau of Export Enforcement. Again, the government's pretty big. Department of Defense, Air Force Office of Special Investigations. They don't have, oh my poor Air Force. They don't have their own TV show. Naval Investigative Service. What year is this? I'm gonna look at the year of this book because a lot of things get refolded. A lot of changes of organizational. Prentice Hall. Uh, Chapter opening. Yeah, okay, well, where's the criminal justice? Oh, right, copyright 2011. The last edition. Well, this edition is 2011. It's the first one is 2005. So 2011. So in 2011, we have the number of law enforcement agencies: Air Force Office of Special Investigations, Army Criminal Investigation Division, Defense Criminal Investigative Service, Naval Investigative Service, Department of Energy, National Nuclear Safety Administration, Office of Mission Operations, Office of Secure Transportation, Department of Health and Human Services, Food and Drug Administration, Office of Criminal Investigations, Department of Homeland Security, Federal Law Enforcement Training Center, Federal Protective Service, Transportation Security Administration, U.S. Coast Guard, U.S. Customs and Border Protection, includes U.S. Border Patrol, U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, U.S. Secret Service, Department of the Interior, Bureau of Indian Affairs, Bureau of Land Management, Fish and Wildlife Service, National Park Service, U.S. Park Police. Oh, that's interesting. So, because let me see, where was the forestry? Okay, Department of Agriculture is U.S. Forest Service. Is U.S. Forest Service the one in charge of national parks? There's a lot of conflict over with the Bureau of Land Management, which is sub department under Department of Interior and Department of Agriculture. Oh wait, Department of Interior is U.S. Park Police, National Park Service. Okay, so U.S. Forest Service is under Department of Agriculture, but in Department of Interior we have National Park Service. Oh, National Forest versus National Park. U.S. Park Police, Department of Justice, Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives, Bureau of Prisons, Drug Enforcement Administration, Federal Bureau of Investigation, U.S. Marshals Service, Department of Labor, Office of Labor Racketeering. Oh my goodness, there is such a heated thing over the United Auto Workers today. Labor racketeering. Is that when they like could a union boss be arrested as? I mean, who are these union bosses who make the calls? And well, the union bosses. If you're a union member, you're only going to get promoted if you're a union boss. If you only if wait, you're gonna be like fighting with the union and then want a promotion in your work center. Anyway, Department of State, Diplomatic Security Service, Department of Transportation, Federal Air Marshals Program. My uncle is trying so hard to get me to be an air marshal. I was like, yeah, oh God, you fly around the country and stuff. I'm like, we have problems. See, well, these are nice, stable jobs. But if you have to support like three households, if you have two or three or four households, the worse the economy gets, the fewer workers there are to support the people with no money. And a lot of people are just catching up. See, in the 80s, one of the things my dad has just been, I find it humorous. Some people are only becoming poor for the first time. It's when you meet, like, they used to talk about the nuevo rich, like people who became rich really fast, and then it's like the new rich. Yeah, it takes a while to become rich in normal circumstances because we don't even know what the operating definition of rich is. If people are living and don't have electricity in their houses and have no food in their houses, and you have like a large screen television, air conditioning, and a nice kitchen with food, do you consider yourself rich? If everybody around you is starving to death, but you're like, I don't have my own private plane. I have to drive all the airport. And, half the time like I make a sacrifice and don't fly first class. I can't afford to fly first class. So if I was rich, then how could I could not afford to fly first class all the time? The income that jobs have. Like today, I was over at the court, and they have a pretty good pay scale. However, what's a pay scale? What's the price? What's the value of your home? Well, my landlord, the sub landlord, I guess you're subleasing. Is this a $500,000 house? Is it $20,000 house? There's some structural things that need it, but it seems like the foundation is very, very good. The plumbing and maybe some porches need to be fixed up. However, I don't know their cost metrics. All I know is sitting here. don't know the difference between this is $1 million house or going to be condemned in 2 years and unable to sell it. However, it serves just fine for a place to live and listen. So quiet. Uh, Department of the Treasury, Internal Revenue Service, Criminal Investigation Division. So IRS. Well, I suppose IRS agents may show up to try to count, try to figure out how much money in bank account someone has if they're not reporting. Yeah, I suppose when you this person doesn't want to contribute to their share of all these people to keep us safe. You know why they have guns? Because they get shot at. They have to deal with violent, dangerous people. So this is how many government people keep us safe. And my goodness, all the sacrifices. I'm not refusing to pay taxes. I just have a. I'll leave that alone. My week in review is I have not made headway in contacting my former employer and saying, hey, listen, my storage shed was robbed. My 7 years. Well, I have three of or seven tax returns. It's kind of hard. It's kind it's having a big boy, being a big boy, being an adult in this Western oppressive country that we live in, or I live in, requires a lot of like you have to constantly writing down the numbers and justifying like cutting in this guy, cutting in that one, kicking this bitch out. Uh, Treasury Inspector General for Tax Enforcement, Department of Veterans Affairs, Office of Security and Law Enforcement, U.S. Postal Service, Postal Inspection Service, other offices with enforcement personnel, Administrative Office of the U.S. Courts, Amtrak Police, Bureau of Engraving and Printing Police, Environmental Protection Agency, Criminal Investigations Division, Federal Reserve Board, Tennessee Valley Authority, U.S. Capitol Police, U.S. Mint, U.S. Supreme Court Police, Washington, D.C., Metropolitan Police Department. So Washington, D.C.'s Metro Police Department is a federal agency. Huh. Or they have uh, federal enforcement personnel there. The most fundamental weakness in crime control is the failure of federal and state governments to create a framework for local policing. Much of what is wrong with police is the result of the absurd, fragmented, unworkable non-system of more than 17,000 local departments. Patrick V. Murphy, former. Of course, it's New York. The problem is we have too many independent communities who aren't using our federal New York City framework. New York City doesn't have any freaking trees. My goodness, if all of a sudden all the roads in New York collapse and you can't get their friggin' bodega, friggin' shopping refill, how if you're wandering around, if all electricity went off in New York City, you have to wander around looking for food and there's no shipment, and all the other people living there were just freaking out and ransacking the stores, just grabbing it. How many days? How long with no power would until New York City starved? Their situation, your situation, Mr. Murphy. So I'm studying this. Law enforcement personnel differences of agreement. 17,000 local departments, and that's just, it's unworkable. Oh, because somebody in New York wants to be called up. Arrest that guy. I saw his tweet. I saw his tweet. You arrest him. What do you mean it's not illegal where you are? We're working in New York City. I mean, he's talking about things about New York City. This is. I mean, that's the thing. Consolidating. That was like after 9/11. Why 9/11 happened is because they didn't have enough control in Washington. Like 9/11 wouldn't happen. Every time that happens to you, you know what the solution is? Well, you should give me more power. Mhm. You want to be protected from all these criminals. You need to pay more taxes. Support more of your law enforcement. You know, if you don't like the laws, you violated it. Talking bad about your president. Oh wait, now now we can talk bad about them. Even president's own party's talking bad about them. Oh boy, but some people they have some very thin skin. Problem is 17,000. The problem is that the states need to understand the rule of the United States. What would you do without the New York Stock Exchange? What would you do without the New York Stock Exchange? Well, I figure people way before they got the ability to electronically send funds to New York City just invested in their community and where they are. Oh, FBI agents taking part in an apartment arrest training exercise at the FBI Academy in Quantico, Virginia. As an instructor looks on, student agents chosen for the course. Student agents chosen for the course receive classroom shooting range instruction and act out crime and arrest scenarios at a mock-up town called Hogan's Alley. The academy, which began operations in 1935 in Washington, D.C., covers more than 300 acres and has produced more than 30,000 graduates. What are the core values of the FBI? I don't know. I mean, you change that around. I wonder if any of the students broke into the Capitol. Mm-hmm. Anyway, I was just excited to have my camera working again. I was so excited to get my camera that my camera was working. I didn't really have too much about anything. Normally, for months, normally if at this time of day, I'd be sitting in one of the coffee shops. There's about three coffee shops I rotate through. I got banned from two places simultaneously the other day. I was well, maybe it's because I'm a big famous streamer. Maybe it's because I'm a famous streamer or something. Boy, that makes some people uncomfortable. Susan Cooper, her husband William Cooper. Susan B. W. B. Wait, which Cooper jumped out of the airplane with a briefcase of $200,000? What Cooper? Was that? That was a Cooper, right? D.B. Cooper? D.B. Cooper and the money he took? No, you never heard about the airplane robbery? And this guy is the, yeah, I know D.B. Cooper jumped out with $200,000. That's kind of stuff I love. This paperwork is from 10 years ago. Wait, no, not 10 years ago, older than that. Oh, November 1st, 2011. Well, paperwork might have been sold a few times since then. I like even the privacy thing. Privacy rights. It's public record. It's most law of what we work on in the United States is public record. Telephone books are gone. A lot, I guess. I'm not guessing. I think, well, some people don't want people to be able to look them up. I guess once upon a time, people have to go to city, looking at phone books. This is stalkers. See, the internet, this internet has made it so easy to just not lose touch with someone, like ex-boyfriends, ex-husbands, ex-girlfriends. Usually it's the women, and I believe that's still the case of being just chased around and stalked because men are scary. Men can be scary. I will admit that, ladies. When you got a guy who just likes you a whole lot, he just doesn't want to let you go. Well, now we have like freaking, you can look them up on type of name in Facebook, type of name in a search engine. It's like anywhere in the world. So I understand why people want their addresses less a bunch of stalkers. Well, like Supreme Court justices. Where are the Supreme Court justices living? I'm seeing their cases, but if you forgot, not only Supreme Court justices, but many judges. Well, the community did not like the verdicts over the years. The more people you send to prison, the more people angry about going to prison. The more people getting out of prison, the more people angry about even being put in prison in the first place. So we can do this criminal, like big prison punishment system for what is it? FBI started in 1935. When did we get our first big prison? Hmm. Think about that. When did we get our first big prison? What is our first big? We started like building prisons. Ooh, please share. See, it's funny. I get these like from women. Oh, looking for a good man. So I have this picture here. I'm going to cover up. Anyway, it's a backward shot, and she has her like coochie like spread open, looking for good man for a relationship, and it was sent to me. Oh, so Ashley Lachey is looking for a good man for a relationship. It's just spam, and I was on text. I don't mind telling you. I don't mind telling you. I got Adriana Checknet. Do you know who that is? Apparently she's kind of famous in some communities. She's kind of famous in some communities. Adriana Chechik DM'd me on Instagram. 32, single with no kids. Anyway, I don't even know who this person is, but they're a hot woman. And she's writing me back. That's the thing. These other ones, like the other spams. Oh, I'm getting so many naked picture solicitations. I get them on Facebook again, Instagram DMs. Oh man, just click this link and see the drop link. And it, what do I need that for? What do I need that for? I can just call this number. I can just call anytime I want to talk to every time I want to talk to one of my cousins. I know who they are. Sorry, Adrian Chechnik. I'm gonna smoke one. with the number of like hours spent live streaming, I recognize this panel. They're very this is a big group. There's I was watching a panel discussion, and it's a huge group. And after they're done with this with the live stream here, then they'll break off and they'll go on their other live streams. Each of these people are members of I don't know, Shad. How many live streams is Chris Gore on per day? Actually, I haven't seen him too much lately. Then again, I'm trying to avoid online. So, have you ever been accused of horrendous crimes? And let's not even say, yeah, horrendous crimes. Have you ever been accused of horrendous crimes? Have you ever been accused of a crime? Well, anyway, I have like, no, I'm not gonna show my leg here. Yeah, I have a trick knee, a trick ankle. I can't. Like if I try to run, chances are my gait will be off stride and I'll trip and I'll fall and kind of hobble. Why? Vigilante. So I haven't been physically attacked this week. I haven't been randomly just by well, have you been randomly attacked in physical and violent and like street violence? Well, I live in a small town. It's not even that small. Paris once less than 10,000. There used to be like the big metropolis cities, like 10,000 people 900 years ago, I believe. You know what I haven't seen for a long time? I want to take music lessons, the basic music lessons, just to know the musical scales. Oh yeah, yeah. The places I got permanently banned from. The way Sam, you know Pappas, you know the soon to be dead Pappas. Oh, am I like TMI family situations, Pappas? Am I TMI family situations where a person in the family has been recruiting the good looking young nieces to show pussy on OnlyFans and shit. Hey man, it's the Andrew Tate. It's Andrew Tate, right? Yeah, not him personally. He's just showing you how the pimp game works and how to recruit women for like your harem of rich. I will never get married now because where I came from, COVID lockdown accelerated it. It was acceleration. All the women in capitalist America are prostitutes now, which is why so many guys can't afford to pay. They can't afford to have sex because they've got no money. So that's why they're communists now, where the women give it away for free. I mean not for free because it's a part of the worker collective. I don't control women's bodies, and women don't control mine. And so me bringing women food ain't happening. Maybe I'll get something more grounded for my next stream now that I'm back up and running on the desktop. Something, let me philosophical. just saying if I have my philosophy, one of my philosophy books within arm's reach. A plus certification for dummies. California Almanac, 19th edition. I think it's 89. Understanding options, mastering online marketing, the 4-hour work week, Mike Myers CompTIA Security Plus, how to read financial reports, game programming for teens, principles of artificial intelligence, Objective C pocket reference, PHP pocket reference, search engines for the World Wide Web, second edition, energy, a physical science text, Robert's Rules of Order, HTML4 for Dummies, Google Hacks, 100 industrial strength tips and tools, Merriam-Webster's Rhyming Dictionary, how to defend yourself at auctions. The complete biblical library, Antonia Fraser's Cromwell, the Lord Protector, highway engineering, David 90, Canterbury Classics. Last books I bought at Barnes and Noble. Well, I just don't have any Barnes and Nobles to go to, so. Phaedrus by Plato, translated by Benjamin Jowett. Introduction. The Phaedrus is closely connected with the Symposium. It may be regarded either as introducing or following it. The two dialogues together contain the whole philosophy of Plato on the nature of love, which in the Republic and in the later writings of Plato is only introduced playfully or as a figure of speech. But in the Phaedrus and Symposium, love and philosophy join hands, and one is an aspect of the other. The spiritual and emotional part is elevated into the ideal, to which in the Symposium mankind are described as looking forward, and which in the Phaedrus, as well as in the Phaedo, they are seeking to recover from a former state of existence. Whether the subject of the dialogue is love or rhetoric, or the union of the two, or the relation of philosophy to love and to art in general and to the human soul, will be hereafter considered, and perhaps we may arrive at some conclusion such as the following: that the dialogue is not strictly confined to a single subject, but passes from one to another with the natural freedom of conversation. Just gonna switch over to the page before it. Without context. I believe you are right, said Agathon, and I am disposed to think that his intention of placing himself between you and me was only to divide us, but he shall gain nothing by that move. For I will go and lie on the couch next to you. Yes, yes, replied Socrates, by all means come here and lie on the couch below me. Alas, said Alcibiades, how I am fooled by this man. He is determined to get the better of me at every turn. I do beseech you, allow Agathon to lie between us. Certainly not, said Socrates, as you praised me. And I, in turn, ought to praise my neighbor on the right. He will be out of order in praising me again when he ought rather be praised by me. And I must entreat you to consent to this, and not be jealous, for I have a great desire to praise the youth. Hurrah! Cried Agathon. I will rise instantly that I may be praised by Socrates. The usual way, said Alcibiades. Where Socrates is, no one else has any chance with the fair. And now how readily he has invented a specious reason for attracting Agathon to himself. Glaucon, the son of Ariston, had conceived such an ardor to gain the headship of the state that nothing could hinder him, but he must deliver a course of public speeches. Though he had not yet reached the age of 20, his friends and relatives tried in vain to stop him making himself ridiculous and being dragged down from the bema. Socrates, who took a kindly interest in the youth for the sake of Charmides, the son of Glaucon, and of Plato, alone succeeded in restraining him. It happened thus. He fell in with him, and first of all, to get him to listen, detained him by some such remarks as the following. Ah, Glaucon, he exclaimed, so you have determined to become prime minister? Glaucon, yes, Socrates, I have. Socrates, and what a noble aim! If aught human ever deserve to be called noble, since if you succeed in your design, it follows as the night the day, you will be able not only to gratify your every wish, but you will be in a position to benefit your friends. You will raise up your father's house, you will exalt your fatherland, and you will become a name thrice famous in the city first, and next in Hellas. Hell? Hellas. Hell. And lastly, even among the barbarians, perhaps like Themistocles, but be it here or be it there, wherever you be, you will be the observed of all beholders. Hellas, 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 Hellas. Anyway, I'm done today. I know other people have like 3, 4 hour streams and just, I just want to give up. I give an update, give up. My dropping out of presidential race. I didn't know I was running. But then again, if you don't know, if you haven't been paying attention to legal precedents, you know what a super PAC is, and super PAC unrestrained after Citizens United, or did Citizens United create the super PAC? Equal Employment Opportunity Commission versus Zippo Manufacturing Company. A. Leon Higginbotham, Jr., Circuit Judge. G. Gordon Matheny and the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, EEOC, on behalf of Jack A. Schelling, Arthur H. Schultz, and Raymond J. Weinberg, appealed the district court's order granting Zippo Manufacturing Company's Zippo summary judgment motion. Appellants claim that Zippo violated the Age Discrimination in Employment Act, ADEA, 29 U.S.C. section 623 sub A1, because it terminated them as district managers, DM, when they turned 65. That ADEA only covers employees. Manager, not a. The district court found the appellant DMs to be independent contractors, not employees, outside the purview of ADEA. Thus, the critical issue raised by this appeal is whether the district court erred in its determination that DMs under contract with Zippo were independent contractors who are not covered by ADEA, rather than employees within the meaning of ADEA. Agency partnerships. So much fun. So much fun learning. But it's the end of the world, so why even bother? Let's just go take it. Smash, grab, and take it.